timing, which is ironic right now. The poem is called Timing, Jackal's Labyrinth. It's in the voice of Jackal, which is, in this case, all of us. 1. Open, letter, wound, or dangerous door. Caught, slipping and slacking. A gap between a wolf's two howls, breathing your neck hairs.
2. I am older than restraint. It is not my way. Yours is to do what you would, even as you know it won't help. 3 flights up on a makeshift balcony, teetering your plastic chair. 1 smoke after another beer in your strong hand, pen in your meticulous. Scribe your fury, pages worth, all tempered inward like your phobia of heights.
4, 3. By whose remembrance do you think I am here on this land? Give thanks.
4. Blur to a fresh leaf and scratch a corrugated manifesto, one half battle rap, the other prayer. Ask, no questions. Call upon what miles do, tracks, repeat 5 times in different tongues you've never kissed. To flip a cliche on its side, coin the word soul on, rind, grow, less with progress, pull a third eye reference to the creator whose name is mine, and a flippant one to stations in life, and being here before, like me, push back and think how clever you are.
5. For what? For what you allowed across your forehead when lioness asked you to scribe her dead brother's life. Go inside, scrub the kitchen floor with drum skin till you see your bed below, empty.
6. Empty of answers. Breathe into that pulse where you keep the questions you've hidden from your shame. Begin to form a character who responds in omens. Your father's mother, whose fire offerings you tasted only by the strain of her oldest blood daughter. Collage nanama from pieces of Argon's gift.
A. The parched chapels and angles of the adobe woman you passed in Bombay, Chittoor, Chennai, Madras.
B. The intricate, deciduous fingers of the matron who poured symmetrical chalk designs onto canvases of dried bullock dung in front of your hostel door, to entice gods through the mosquito net between the mornings, when it was her job to on the lights at 5 and rouse the slumber of boys dreaming in concrete beds.
C. The light, blue, and folds of aerograms you wrote there.
D. Your friend's megaphone refusal, alone at 4:59 a.m., retro-projected there too.
E. 2 rhythms, bamboo poles clapping at dancing feet verse, bangles applauding a mortar and pestle.
F. The dip in your favorite Curtis Mayfield song, beginning underneath and before its peak, the way I feel at the end of a hunt.
G. The partitions she lived through. Nation, religion, language, household, children, duty, duty.
H. Her youngest sons beside photo of her, a kilter brown glance of defiance, cropped and enlarged out of your grandfather's accusing glare as he stoics between his wives.
Distract yourself with the hope your boons are from your mother's father. Pretend Nanama agrees with your political analysis and tactics. Assumed she would never have made your adolescent knees push down on a thicker rattan mat than your friend, whose name means the light of the sun, just to preserve the lunchtime social order, imbalanced as translation. Have her say things like only the past is fearless, and those who want to own it fear it most. Consider giving her the ring in Bessie's voice. Settle on your own cracked tenor. After all, we spend our days in these conquering ways without stopping to wonder if it's we betray. Place on these falsities the image of holding your mother's draught-textured hand.
Here I am quoting an entry in my apprentice's journal. There's a previous one about his first sunrise back in the Philippines and how easy it is after 15 years to pretend he's watching the most lovely he's ever seen. And a ring smudged third from before when he was still making excuses not to return to visit her one last time. The first one states, "I love you, Lola. There is so much I wanted you to teach me." The journal contains no entry about the relief he felt when she turned away, embarrassed, let go her grip, and his cousin insisted on being the one to wipe her.
7. The memories you deny to write this piece define your relationship to the imagined. Portion of the city you claims you. Archipelago of emotions connected only by rafts and masks, oral and painted, tainted, but won't let go. Embrace it, and stones unfold.
8. Yes, you couldn't prevent the war. Don't worry, another will come. Still more are in the wings. Those moments of clever you were so proud of earlier, claw and rip them away when you practice. The poem again and again, not in between job and exam, bridge rails, keyboards, and trying to pause.
9. Howl it under your breath as you submerge in a bar patio or pool table crowd, face to face with your bent reflection in double doors. The hustles that feed you, and the ones that grind a calabao's horn to dust. So what if you notice the men's washroom is almost always closer than the women's, and you force yourself to put the toilet seat and cover down in your bachelor pad? The mid-ocean smell in a returning plane's water closet remains privilege.
10. In the house your Lolo built, with taps for deco and sweet runoff for drink. You saw your 1-year-old niece walk over to the cot, lean her forearm against its lower leg, weep into that place. You were sure Michaela's tears contained no pull for anything here, only despair. Evoke how she looked up, sharpened, curved eyebrows at your doorway presence, lowered, creased forehead back into elbow crook, dismissed you from her observance.
11. Give it a birthmark. While composing, I listen for tones that bring wisdom is a good lie to start with.
12. Musing offbeats and ancestries, off streets demanding piece by actions who seek repetition. Flay open the cadence of your own architecture. What you won't remember. Here, right now, where you're supposed to be. You've seen before. It was after your Lolo's death, whose anniversary is today by the sun, a week from now by the moon. It was after you didn't journey to see his final throes because you had to commit to school, failing to submit what was required, eyes closed to a weeping sky.
13. Your face is a collage of your grandmother's. Do not feign capture of their essence. 2 is 1. Instead, Heave and grieve with your rusted iron vocab, a life-death, made whole still gifting breath to songs unfinished.
14. And with your first ever off-time rhyme scheme, then bring it back to the one, an echo refrain, ideal for call and response, our favorite snare. Put in a couple fill in the blank and blank lines to proceed like grandma and sear and follow, coherence like oceans, like atmosphere. Ask your popsy how to say nanama in Hindi, your momsy for Lola in Pangasinan, secretly glad the answers are both two-syllabled and match their counterparts in the opposite parent's other first language once you shorten nanama to nana. Whenever you speak the poem out loud, raise these words to a crescendo, but always end on a whisper.
15. Else time, as pavement dries and ground receives moisture from the evergreen shade above, another friend dies. The distance from intent to implication. Replace the pronouns and names for grandmother with his, change nothing else, and offer what remains as eulogy. Think of your father's water under rice paddy squint when he speaks of his Amma's unrequited generosity and sacrifice. Your feelings about how that should be heard as disempowering to women, and the disrespect you've shown, Lola, Daddy, Nana, Bai, by having her ancestral mouth proclaim your descendant words. This violence, the kindest gift you've given yourself to share. Thank you.